Hey,
Okay.
Jennifer,
Yes.
it's Mike O'Connor at Zealand. Hey, just quickly, Pat Walster and I have been trying to get a hold of you by phone and email. We've
Oh yeah.
gotten no response.
You're muted.
Oh, sorry. There we go. Okay. I see your mouth moving, but I can't hear you.
Sorry, I got muted too. What were you saying, Michael? I'm sorry.
Oh, Pat Walster and I both emailed you, and we've been calling you, leaving messages. We've heard nothing back. We wonder if we have the correct information, and wondered if you're going to attend our March 13th regional workshop at Zealand Adult Ed.
Yes, I will be there for sure. And we're getting our phones fixed today. We have the phones are still being sent to Jackie, who's on maternity leave.
And is the email that's in your email when you send these messages out, is that correct?
It's MACAE outreach at gmail.com.
Yeah, and that's what we've been sending them to.
Okay, I'll double check there.
Okay, great. Thanks so much, and so happy you're going to attend. There'll be about 110 or 20 teachers and administrators in the 13-county region attending.
All right, that's amazing. I'm excited to be there. Thank you.
Yeah, would you like me to email you the address and all that?
Sure, that would be great. Thank you, Michael.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Happy February. How is everybody? Happy that the groundhog didn't see a shadow and we'll hopefully get an early spring?
Depends who you listen to. I heard he did in Pennsylvania.
Apparently there's 2 groundhogs now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Michigan and Pennsylvania, I guess.
Apparently, yeah, there's the groundhog, what is it? Punxsutawney Phil from the movie.
Yeah.
And then there's the groundhog, there's some other groundhog now, a new groundhog. And so apparently now one of the groundhogs that has the oldest track record didn't see a shadow. The other one did see a shadow. And
yeah, we'll let them duke it out.
I kind of doubt we'll get an early spring since we had kind of a late winter, to be honest.
Yeah.
Tammy, how are you?
Good morning, everybody. Hi, Jen. Happy summery day, like 45, what?
I know today it's easy to think we'll get an easy spring.
I shouldn't say summer, I should say spring. I'm kind of pushing it a little too far to say summer, but after it was so cold, it feels like summer.
Absolutely. All right, to start things off today, I wanted to do a little bit of a check-in on, I like to do this, it's a rosebud thorn exercise. So a rose is, your good news, something, that's blooming for you. Your bud are, opportunities, something that's not quite in bloom yet, but it's getting there. And then the thorn might be some challenges that you're facing. So you can either unmute and share with us or send us a message in the chat, either about a rose, a bud, or a thorn that you're facing. Let's get those good news, those challenges, all of those things that we're all dealing with out there and share.
If nobody else, I think I can throw one out there.
Go for it.
Our program for the last going on 2 years now, we've been looking for an additional staff member, certified teacher, and didn't think it was going to happen. Didn't think the school was going to hire somebody, whatever, if we could find somebody. But we just had, within the last 2 weeks, this is actually the second week in our program, we've had one of the teachers that was at our high school actually transferred over to adult ed. So now we have an additional certified teacher in the program, and things are starting to look up. Things are going in the right direction.
Nice. That's amazing. It's always amazing to feel like you have the staff that you need. And it's always a challenge when you don't. All right. We've got Mandy Summers. Rose enrollment is booming. More grads than last year already. That's amazing news. Another Bud starting an evening welding program that will incorporate adult education students next year. Oh, that's amazing news. That'll be really big for sure. Lisa had a great annual meeting with my board of directors. facilitated by the amazing Caitlin Pisarski. I'm sorry if I said that wrong. All right, those are all great news. Anybody else have anything to share?
Actually, yes. Hi, my name's Mandy McDonald. I'm with Iosco RISA in northeast part of the state. We've had some really positive conversations with Leo regarding the My Stairs project, and we're awaiting approval. That's pretty exciting. Additionally, we've started some new IET programs, and we were approved to receive the IET planning grant. And one of the reasons I'm speaking right now, despite my shyness, so bear with me, thank you, is we are looking to expand into writing IET for a CDL program. We have 4 different CDL schools around our particular service region. And I was hoping if anyone could please reach out to me. I'm going to leave my email and my phone number in the chat on what you're doing with your CDL IET programs. We're in the research stages of developing this new plan, and I'm all ears to what you're using for curriculum, for your adult ed component, to what you're using for your workforce readiness components, and how you're dovetailing all of that with the occupational training. So please reach out. We're in brainstorming stages, and I'd love to hear from you. Thank you.
All right, awesome. Thank you, Mandy. Hopefully some people will come out with that great experience that they've had.
Yeah, Mandy, I don't see Karen on here this morning, but I think Karen Govan might have CDL as one of hers, or she did at some point. I'm not 100% though.
Thank you, Tammy. I will definitely reach out to her.
Yeah,
Thanks,
I know she had some specific ones that I'm just not 100%, but maybe if she doesn't have it, she knows who does. Unfortunately, we don't do CDL.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, we have Robin Gray Mountain. I've been working with a student that has been on and off for 3 years. We finally got him to finish and he graduated. So happy for him. Amazing. Also, guys, remember if you have, a story, you can get permission to have a story and a picture, going back to our advocacy, professional development and everything, put that on your social media and send that to us to put it on our social media so we can all share in these success stories and help raise awareness for what we do as well. All right, Mandy Summers awarded My Stairs grant, excited to offer pre-apprenticeships. Congratulations. That's very good news. Let's see. We just started a new ESL GED program yesterday. Nice. DPS CD is one step closer to opening our CLEP testing center. Amazing. Let's get some of those CLEP testing centers out there, get more access. Nice. Caitlin, we expanded ESL services to a second location on the west side of Detroit, working to fill the roster. Great opportunity to meet a growing need with asylum seekers and other immigrants. Absolutely.
Oh.
All right. Heidi Thorne, our GED teacher, Dana Edwards, retired and left us the end of January. Oh, that's the worst. I'm sure you'll find somebody just as amazing, but it's always really hard when somebody who's been with you for a while steps away for sure. We hired a wonderful person, Crystal. She's on the Zoom today. Welcome, Crystal. And then there's Mandy's information as well for the CDL. Anybody else have anything you want to share?
Well, this will be a teaser for later, but really I can't separate. It's the bud and the thorns all together, right? It's the whole rose, and it's the ALOF grant, the literacy fund. The budding piece is that it's with the state and it's in the approval phase. It went from the legislators. Now it's at the state office. The state office has now sent it up for final approval. So we're that much closer. But the thorn is we still don't have it, and we're still working through the process, but we're getting there. So I think it's like the whole rose.
It's not the rose yet. It will be the rose, hopefully.
Yeah. It's
hopefully by this time next month it'll be a rose.
And it'll be one of those expensive ones where they've sheared off all the thorns and it's just the rose.
Yeah, by the time we get there, it'll be an amazing premium rose for sure.
Exactly.
Definitely. All right.
I'll share one more thing to add on to what Mandy was saying. We started 2 IET programs. One started this last week, and then one was, I believe, 2 weeks before that, in utility arborist and CNA. So we have 3 students so far, and then they're going to run another round of CNA to hopefully get a handful more students in. So we're really excited. This is our first time with actually carrying out an IET program.
That's amazing. And such a need as well for nurses, nursing assistant, healthcare workers, and teachers, of course, in the state, as we all know. That's exciting news, Whitney. All right. I do have some other exciting news to share with you. So Jackie's on maternity leave. We do have Kim on this call. So Kim is covering for Jackie, has been working with Jackie this whole time, but she's covering. Henry John was born January 24th at 4:42 p.m. Jackie was meeting with us in the morning and was like, yeah, yesterday I was having some pains. And then it was like, yep, I'm at the hospital. Baby's going to be born in 30 minutes. Okay. Henry was 6 pounds, 10 ounces and 20 inches long. And this is a picture from Sunday. So that's very, very exciting news.
Okay.
Everybody's well, baby and mama are healthy. As you can see, everybody's at home, all good. And Jackie is enjoying her time with her little one. And her other not so little one, but still little. All right, Tammy, you already kind of got ahead a little bit with the ALOF grant. Anything else you want to add to ALOF other than that we're just waiting patiently? We did send we resent some documents this week. I also followed up with Erica as well, waiting for updates on some of the other things. Anything you want to add about ALOF?
No, just, I mean, it's good news that we have been in communication pretty regularly and they are being responsive. It's just now a matter of the red tape through to the next level to get the budget and the financial piece set. I think that's where we're at. I don't see anyone at the upper level wanting to make changes to the agreement that was sent over. It's just a matter of them fine tuning, how we get it out of Sigma and the process and the invoicing and how much. I don't think we're going to be able to give programs all of it at once. It might be quarterly. We don't know yet, so I don't want to say anything about that, but just be prepared that it might not necessarily be a grant where, you get it, you're going to have to probably get it quarterly or something like that. I'm not sure yet. I shouldn't have said anything because I don't know, but just so people don't assume that, they're holding on to get like one big chunk this year.
As soon as we have the information, we'll get it all to you.
Yeah, we can't really, the RFP isn't ready to really release until it's all approved.
Tammy, can we talk a little bit about that, about the quarterly piece? I mean, we've already waited over 6 months for this piece, and then to make it quarterly, I mean, it goes into the next fiscal year and everything that way.
That's why, Lisa, I shouldn't have said anything. I don't know for sure that it has to be
Okay, that's
quarterly.
problematic.
Well,
Just
we're
so
getting
you
an
know.
extra year because it took so long. They extended it for another full year. So it doesn't have to be expended by June 30th of this year. We have
Well,
another
okay, but
full
we want
year.
we want it in our budget for that
Well,
year because it should have been done earlier.
I can only do what they allow us to do, so I will let you know once we get the formal process.
I mean, I understand, but I mean, just to advocacy, to push back against them is what I'm
We would
hoping
love
for.
it. Well, it would obviously be easier on us administratively as well if we could just put it all out, but we will let you know as soon as we know. But they did, thank goodness, add another full year because it's taken so long.
What we got is the draft for the grant. It has some language in there about potentially being, based on reporting and rewards being administered that way. And we pushed back and we said, what does this mean? And there's still not clarity even at the state level about what that means and how it'll be dispersed. So we are pushing back, absolutely, Lisa, because we agree it'll be much, much easier if we can get that money up front. And get that to all of our projects up front. And so we are definitely pushing back. We don't know for sure what it means or what it'll look like. But hopefully we will be able to give that money to you all at once.
Caitlin asked if this is going through Leo. They are the fiscal. We will be administering it. We will be managing it, but the funds are coming through Leo for us to manage. So we have to wait until they release the funds and they approve the process. But we will be the ones you'll be sending your reports to, and then we have reports we have to send to them.
All right, perfect. And then let's see, moving on to the CLEP grant. I believe Joel is on the call. I know we have a meeting with McCann and Joel and Tammy and I tomorrow. We'll get more of an update tomorrow, but I don't know if Joel has any other update for the CLEP grant right now. Are you there, Joel?
Yes.
Okay.
So we are due to have our third quarterly meeting next Thursday from 2 to 3:30. That is the 15th. It is, as a reminder, it is mandatory, so everybody needs to have at least one representative from their organization present. But you can always bring more.
Perfect. Joel, can you send me the meeting info for that?
Certainly.
Awesome, thank you. Section 107, so the RFP is out, as we know. I'm following up with Erica. Originally, the state said that they would do a bidders conference. If not, we will definitely do something as well. Just waiting to hear back from Erica. If not, we'll just get something planned very, very soon so everybody can get their questions answered. Same with WIOA. Section 107A is still hung up in kind of defining some of the language and how, again, who's eligible and how to be distributed. So we're still waiting for an update on 107A, still pushing along for that to try and get that moving as quickly as possible. Any questions about any of these grants here?
Jen, really quick, for section 107, I know some of the regions are doing their own like RFP Q&As, because region 10 has one at 10 a.m. today.
Okay.
So the region
perfect.
10 members, don't forget to jump on your section 107 RFP Q&A right after this meeting. So I don't know if the state is doing one as a whole, because the regions are all, they're a little different because it's a regional level grant. So I'm not sure if each region's doing their own Q&A or if the state can try to do an overall, more general one that kind of covers the basics.
I know
Dan,
originally,
are you talking about for 107?
Yes,
Why would they do one at this point when the grant's due 2 weeks from Friday?
I'm just telling you that our region is doing one today.
Oh, yours is, okay. But
Region
I
10 has
thought
one today.
somebody said something about the state doing one.
the state said that they were going to do one originally when we met with them, but then we haven't heard back from that.
Oh, well, yeah.
Did you say that the WIOA application is available? I haven't seen anything. I see.
No.
No, WIOA is
No,
not
no,
out
no.
yet. Sorry.
Okay. Thank you.
Do we have a sense as to like when WIOA is going to be out? Are there any updates?
I was looking today to see if there's any updates and everything. I haven't seen anything yet. But we'll
Has
keep
anyone
asking,
talked to the
pushing.
state?
Last I heard, they had sent it up for approval.
Okay,
So as soon as it's approved at the upper level, they will release it. I know they wanted it released already, so I would hope it's going to be soon, but remember that there's been a couple changes in positions also there. Krista Johnson is, I believe, officially now
Mhm.
been promoted, so her position might be vacant right now unless they promoted someone and I haven't heard yet. So that might be causing a little bit of the delay. But I know that it's in the approval process and they want it released as soon as possible.
All right. We also have a new funding opportunity that we haven't really talked about yet, the Digital Equity Competitive Grant. So this is a federal grant. The purpose of it is to support efforts to achieve digital equity, promote digital inclusion activities, and spur greater adoption of broadband among covered populations. And this is open to eligible state and non-state entities. It's a competitive grant for 4 years. The notice of funding opportunity, we're expecting it to be out between summer 2024 and September 2024. Let's see, eligible entities are political subdivisions, agencies, or instrumentalities of the states. including those responsible for adult education and literacy or public housing, forest tribes, or other organizations, nonprofit foundations, corporations, or institutions or associations that are not schools, community anchor institutions, local education agencies, and partnerships, etc. So I think there's a lot of opportunities here. Eligible activities, digital inclusion activities for covered populations, activities that help covered populations adopt broadband for educational and employment opportunities, basic, advanced, and applied digital skills training for covered populations and related workforce development programs, for equipment, public access computing centers, and other projects and activities that are approved. So this, again, the state is also going to be getting funding directly, and then this will be coming through the state to decide who will be given access to these funds as well. I think it's a good opportunity because a lot of our programs I know have a digital literacy piece to them. So another good opportunity out there as well. Any questions about our grant and funding opportunities coming up? All right. Thank you, Pat. The state will not do a 107 bidders workshop. Okay, perfect. All right.
Ed did add in the chat that Region 6 has one coming up as well. So if you're not sure, maybe ask your regional fiscal agent if they're doing one.
Perfect. All right, upcoming committee meetings. Our advocacy committee is meeting tomorrow, February 8th at 10 a.m. You can email Ted for more information. We have our new alternative education committee. So Renee, you can email Renee for more information about that. That is February 16th from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. We have Brian on this meeting. We have our community ed committee meeting February 16th from 12 to 1:30. You can email Brian Puffer for more information. Our AB literacy community meeting is February 19th from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. You can contact Michael Evans. Our other new committee this year is our ESL or ESOL committee meeting. That'll be February 22nd at 8 a.m. You can email Mariah Schaefer for more information. And the next HSC committee meeting is April 15th. You can contact Whitney for more information. Any of the committees have an update or anything that they would like to share or a pitch to recruit more members? All right. Our next upcoming professional development is also on February 16th. It's going to be a big day, February 16th. Highway to the Data Zone with Joel, using tools to improve adult education data methodology. So really important that you do have access to your data. You have that on hand during the presentation. This is going to be amazing to help you really figure out how to analyze and interpret that data and use that to get your funding, use that to make better reports, and how to use that to complement, the stories and the qualitative data that you have. Joel, do you want to add anything?
No, that was actually a really good summary.
All right, perfect.
Jen and Joel, can I just ask, when you send out the meeting reminder to the people that are registered, Joel, I don't know if you have a list of which mayor's reports maybe we should pull to have ready to review, so we can pull.
Yeah, I can have Jennifer send that to her and she can throw it in there.
Perfect.
Thank you, Tammy. Thank you,
I wanna do
Joel.
my homework.
Oh, save the date. I didn't update this one. Our next member check-in. Hold on. It is not February 7th. 1 second. It is March. Oh my goodness. March 6th. So March 6th at 9 a.m. will be our March member check-in. Also remember them getting close to that COIB National Conference. This is going to be a really big conference for MACAE as well, because we are getting an award for the state association, best state association. And so we will have a lot of presence, really exciting conference for us as well. So if anybody's still on the fence about whether you should go or not, You know, we've been looking through, the presentations are going to be amazing. There's going to be a little bit for everybody. Lots of people are going to be there. It's going to be at the the Opryland Hotel in Nashville. Really beautiful hotel as well. So if you're still on the fence, haven't bought your ticket, you still can. We hope to see you all there as well to come out and support us. Our advocacy day is going to be April 24th. We'll be meeting at Central United Methodist Church. I'm going to talk more about the advocacy day in a bit. And then our Spring Institute, April 18th and 19th online. So the Virtual Spring Institute, we are accepting proposals for presentations and presenters. I know several of our committees have some specific PDs or sessions that they would like to request. So any sessions that you want to request, please send us an email, let us know. We're also looking for suggestions for presenters. So if anybody would really like to present a session or has a suggestion, please send that on as well. And of course, we are looking for sponsors for the Spring Institute. So if anybody knows or would like to be a sponsor, please reach out as well to me. And we will be sending the registration information and the schedule as soon as possible, so you can start looking at all of those exciting sessions. Advocacy update, we have established our fiscal year priorities for 2025, and we have sent these out. So changes and increases to Section 107 funding. So we would like the general 107 to be the same, but we're asking to allocate an extra $1 million for career and technical adult education programming, increasing that particular budget from $4 million to $5 million, which is under the 107. And another part of this ask is also more grant windows for applicants to allow more programs access to these funds, and also opening up to integrated education and training certification for learners in approved IET and or people that are co-enrolled in career and technical programming. Tammy, do you want to talk a little bit about why we have this ask?
In past years, we have not spent out that CTE funding because some regions can't partner or don't partner for whatever reasons with their CTE. And rather than lose that funding and have it pulled into the general, by increasing access, it will increase participation and increase success with that. So we're hoping by adding the funding so that it doesn't impact the CTE programs that are already in place, we're adding funding. So because sometimes in a grant, if you add, it means you're going to take away from someone else if there's a set cap, right? So we're trying to add funding so that it doesn't impact those that are already getting the CTE funds, but open it up to more applicants.
All right, perfect. And of course, while we are still waiting for the ALOF funds to be released, we're also at the same time pushing for this to be a permanent line item in the budget, even if that money doesn't get released until after these initial funds are used. Just because we do want to get it in the budget, get it as an annual item instead of having to fight again once the funds are used as a new budget item or a one-time item as well. We are also asking to reallocate state funding of the 23 plus grant to Section 107. So our position is that this is a duplication of services, that we don't need this to be a separate funding, and that the current 2.5 million in 23 plus funds should be moved to Section 107 for our eligible providers that are already offering these services. We also are asking for an increase in the number of LEO staff people by 1 full-time employee. This is a request that's coming directly from Erica in the state office. Alternative education investments maintain current per pupil funding under the school aid fund. And community education, maintain funding as it is at its current level. Any questions about our fiscal priorities?
Yeah, Jennifer, it's Mike again, one of them. We should put something in the special programs grant to allow English as second language students who are in the upper levels or fourth or whatever, or just leave it open so that English as second language students can also participate in the special programs grant, because currently they're not allowed to.
Right, Michael, with adding IET, any ESL student that's in an IET program would be eligible.
IET is very difficult to pull off. it sounds wonderful in theory, and though I do have an IET program, I've always had one. It's very difficult, and it's rather limiting as well.
So what would the ESL students be in that would
Oh.
qualify for career certification then?
Well, even short-term career and tech training.
So you're saying separate from IET or CTE, just if you want to
Yeah.
get training, they don't have to, I don't know if they'll go through, I don't know if they'll approve it without it being an IET, but
Like we tried to do last year.
yeah, we tried to add ESL to the,
Right.
I don't know if they'll do it without it being a qualified IET though, but yeah, Jen, add that note. for the
I
next-
did add it for sure.
Okay.
I mean,
Because
in general,
that's very discriminatory, not to allow ESL students to participate in that. Many of them have worked in those fields in their own countries, but yet they can't participate in the grant here and update their skills by taking a CTE class. That's ridiculous.
absolutely. In general, too, Tammy and I have had a lot of conversations with the state workers, all of them, about how to open up a lot of these grants to be able to include ESL students. Because a lot of times it's just a little bit of wording, a little phrase, something like that,
Yeah.
that's going to end up excluding them, I think, unintentionally.
Right. Well, the perfect
Um,
example is my stairs. They put in the language and in the header even about ESL, but then the performance requirements and the qualifications to get it still require that high school completion need. And so they thought they were opening it up, but they really didn't open it up. And they are very aware of that now. And will hopefully, it sounds like we have support to change that for next round. To really open it up and impact the actual language within it that they thought they fixed, that it wasn't clean enough to open it up to ESL yet. So the Meisters grant will hopefully be eligible to ESL students in the future.
Mike, were you going to add something?
No, thank you.
Okay, perfect. Whitney, are you still here?
Yes.
So Chad is asking, I pulled the April 15th date, I think, from the calendar invite. When is your next HSE meeting? Chad said he has it as April 5th.
Let me look. I think it is April 5th.
Yeah,
Yes.
I thought we were doing them on Fridays, and I was like, April 15th is a Monday. So I double checked, and I had the 5th in my calendar, but
Thank you, Chad. Yeah, it's April 5th and then May 3rd. So we have two
Perfect.
left.
I will update that as well in the next Monday email. Thank you, Chad, for catching that.
Yeah, thanks.
All right. And then advocacy update. So again, our advocacy day, April 24th at Central United Methodist Church in Lansing. We will be providing breakfast and lunch. We are looking for sponsors as well for our advocacy day, and save the date and come join us. It's going to be a fun time. And then, of course, again, our COAB National Conference. If you want to be part of our biweekly advocacy meetings, you can email Ted. All right. If you're looking to get more involved, we love to have more and more people more involved. Join a committee. If you want more information in general about the different committees that you can join, you can contact macaeoffice@gmail.com. And again, share your success story, right? We all have some really amazing narratives out there, and the more we can raise awareness for the work that we're doing, for the services that we offer, and also the impact that we have, the more we can reach our students, the more we can increase awareness for the need for funding and legislation and so on. And also make sure that you're following us on social media, on our LinkedIn, our Facebook, our Instagram, and our X or Twitter. And if you guys have stories that you are sharing on social media, make sure to let us know as well, so that we can share those successes, those stories, or those big events as well with the MACAE audience. All right, questions? Comment?
Hey, good morning. I have a question, actually. This is Caitlin from Siena Literacy Center.
All
is
right,
there-
go for it.
Yeah, great. Do we have an update on the pro literacy membership status? We'd like to apply for the National Book Fund. And I do remember that there is some deal if people are MACAE members, it does include a pro literacy membership. And when I reached out to the pro literacy membership team, they said that they're still processing the paperwork with MACAE. So I wasn't sure if you heard anything about that.
Jen, I would reach out to Elaine Pardick to work through that because that's who we did the that's who we made the original agreement with to get the pro literacy memberships for MACAE members, to just verify that where that's
All right,
at.
I'm in touch with Elaine, and so we're trying to get a meeting scheduled. So I'll update everyone then as soon as I have an answer for that.
So
Great,
Caitlin,
thank
are
you
they
so much.
saying that your membership is ended?
Well, I requested that I'd like to renew my membership because I just didn't like follow up last year when the announcement was made. And then she said she looked into it and then that there's been some type of delay with the transition at MACAE.
Okay.
So I don't know. It's probably just like paperwork stuff.
We have
I'll
the
double
same
check.
issue. We have the same issue. When I got our letter this year, it like was extended through November 30th of 2023, and they said that it was all kind of on hold until things got sorted out at MACAE.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, we need to work on that ASAP then.
Yeah, because the National Book Fund is coming up. I think it's due in March, and we can only apply if we're a pro literacy member, and I just don't want to pay out of pocket for that membership.
Okay. And I don't know if Kelly's on here to see what she's.
All right. Yeah, I'm in touch with Elaine, just sorting out the details to schedule a meeting. So we'll get that resolved hopefully then by next week. All right.
Okay.
And then we have a hand raised as well.
Hello, good morning. Yeah, my question was, is anyone using National Geographic's for their curriculum? And if you do, in which ways? We're reviewing it, and I just, of course, I'm hesitant in changing our resources, our curriculum, but just wanted to know if any of you have experienced it.
Which books, which group, like which set?
What is it? It's National Geographic's ESL books.
But do you know which?
They have 7 levels.
Yeah, what is the name of those 7 levels? Like what's the
Oh, my teachers have them right now. They're in their classrooms, but I think you use them, Tammy, for something, I heard.
Yeah, I think because we do order from National Geographic, but I don't remember which set it is, and we don't use them. They're more for supplemental that we give to students.
Yeah.
But I don't know which levels for which. I don't know off the top of my head.
Oh, it's okay.
I need to know the group because I know there are some we use for almost all levels, and then there are some that are just supplemental books for certain levels. So
right.
Let me know which ones you're using.
Well, do you find that you're still it's a curriculum still providing you with meeting your average proficiency or
send me an email and I'll get Carol engaged because I know
cool.
levels are using what, but I know they've asked for them to be ordered multiple years, so they must feel that they're worthwhile or they would have switched to something else. English in Action, is that National Geographic or is that a different one? I don't know. You'll have to email me, Chris.
I'll email you.
Because we use
standout grammar.
Yeah, we use a couple different ones depending on which level.
Okay. All right. Well, I won't waste anyone else's time. Tammy, I'll send you an email. Really appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, awesome. Any other questions or comments? Mandy says they're beautiful books, but so expensive.
Good morning, this is Bonnie True, and I have a question to throw out to the group. We're trying to eliminate barriers to post-secondary enrollment, and Mandy gave me some great feedback, but wondering if anybody has any information about post-secondary institutions in Michigan aside from Lansing Community College that accepts GED scores for placement. So students don't have to take the placement test. Anybody familiar with any other colleges? Mandy mentioned Kirkland and Alpena that I'm going to take a look at, but wondered if anyone else had any information.
I don't know.
Good question.
Sorry, Bonnie. I don't know.
Yeah. No worries. I just thought I'd throw it out there, and I see Gigi mention Wayne County, so I'll take a look at them too. I appreciate the information, everybody.
Tammy, do you know what Oakland is using? I know we had,
OCC, I'm not sure what they do for placement. I mean, I know they accept the GED for entrance, I believe, but I don't know about using it in replacement of a like placement test.
Yeah, that's what I'm specifically looking for. I mean, every community college will accept a GED for enrollment. And you really don't even have to have that if you're over 18, but just
I
wondering,
don't know about
trying
how it
to
impacts
eliminate
placement.
our students from having to take the placement test by having GED scores.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Okay, great. Thank you, everybody.
But I know they're all trying to become more flexible and make it easier for transition. So
Yes, I'm proposing that to our community college. We haven't had it before, so just trying to find some other information to support that decision,
okay, great.
even though they're
Yeah.
all so different.
good thing for us to have as well on our radar so that when we're in these meetings too, we can be, you know, promoting any of these barriers, how we can kind of break those down as well for our populations.
Thanks.
Hi, this is Tina from Tuscola. I have a quick question. And I apologize if anything like this has been asked. We had an emergency in the building, so I'm just getting back from that. But I have a first-time situation with a non-English or very, very limited English-speaking individual who is taking the GED in Spanish, or, you know, is working on things in Spanish, but she literally cannot read a word or very, very little in English. And we still have to do the CASAS pre-test, or we're supposed to. It's stressing her out to zero, absolutely. I mean, she's just stressed to the limit on, she did her GED math and it is flying through it, but the English, she can't read it. And I checked, I got a hold of the state and I got a hold of CASAS, but nothing reports. Do we just take a hit on that? Because I'm not going to stress this lady out for no good reason because
Well,
she can't read it.
If she gets her GED in math, that will give her a performance measure. Anyway, right? And you only get one per year, so you can take.
So it doesn't really matter.
I mean, it's more important to get the GED than to worry about the CASAS score.
Yeah.
Because you'll still get a performance through the CASAS score, and for that person, it's a matter of like, you know, yeah. That's what
Do I get hit on a post-test thing? Is that how it?
Pardon?
The pre and post test measure, is that?
Yeah, so you'd have her try to take like, what is it, the 27 or 28 or whatever it is, that low one, and then give her that low score. And when
Tammy, Tammy, you only get the gain if you earn the whole GED.
Not in section 107.
Yes,
in section 107, you get it for meeting for completing one. For WIOA, it has to be the whole thing. If I recall correctly, I could be wrong, but I thought you get it's like you get a high school credit for section 107. You don't have to get the whole diploma. I believe it's the same for GED.
That's true, but they don't always report it out on those big spreadsheets that they send out that Sue Johnson puts together. That is accurate though. For the 107, you do get a measurable skill gain.
All right.
For passing one test.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah,
but they
and
really only report those federal gains.
Which is the passing
The full. Like when you're looking at measurable skill gain on that big chart that gets sent out, that's divided by regions, it's going to show the federal criteria. But what Tammy's saying is true for 107, they do count just one subtest or one credit earned, but I haven't seen that reported on Sue Johnson's sheets. It's reported in Mayor separately, but not when they're like, you know, they send those out to everyone with what your measurable skill gains are. That's going to be the full GED.
And then the pre and post test thing. So if she just, I mean, seriously, she does not want to take the pre-test. I mean, it's giving her such anxiety, and I have no desire to put her through it. If I have to take a hit, I take a hit. It's not a big deal.
But I think officially you have to have a pre-test in within 12 hours.
Right.
Yeah.
How about if you pre-test her just in math?
I did. Do we have to do English?
No.
Oh.
You're giving her math instruction, correct? So pretest or just in math.
Okay, and if she happens to pass the English portion on the GED and Spanish, she's good?
Yeah, you need a pretest.
Just a pretest, not both. Okay.
Can I
Okay.
add, can I add something? This is Mandy from Michigan Works, in Benton Harbor. What we do is anybody that's ESL, I'm not sure if we're, or not ESL, but, does not speak English that we have in our program, we have them bring someone with them that speaks Spanish and they translate the questions into, English. We also have been used Google Translate.
Mhm.
And that's worked really well. And that kind of alleviates some of that stress. I don't know if we're allowed to do that, but I've
I was
talked
gonna
about-
say, this is recorded. I don't know that I don't think you're supposed to allow them to have anyone to help them.
No, not at all.
I mean, I would verify with Brian, who's the assessment liaison for the state, but I don't believe they're allowed to have anyone with them when they take the test.
For CASAs?
Correct.
Okay.
I would say that's true, Tammy.
Yeah, it just
It would make a huge difference if, you know what I mean? That would
Yeah.
definitely impact.
yeah, and I tried calling CASAs to say, hey, you know, what can we do for these students that only speak Spanish? And they said, well, it's meant to measure their English language proficiency.
Right, so they get a
But-
very low score, they, you know, and
Mhm.
then you hope by the semester they grow as they learn the English.
But my students are taking all their, if my students are studying in Spanish and you taking the Spanish GED, then how does
Yep.
that?
Then I guess you just take the hit on the CASAS, like, yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
Okay.
that's I just wanted to make sure I wasn't misunderstanding, because that's kind of, where we're at. She's not gonna gain because she's not
Yeah.
here to
Okay.
learn English.
All right. Well, we will.
It's not an ESL program kind of thing, so yeah, thank you.
All right, perfect. Any other questions or comments before we stop recording?
Hi, this is Juan. One last thing, only because I primarily work with Spanish speaking students. In the CASAs, I don't know which CASAs, like the online software, but if you wanted to test their Spanish proficiency, and that's what you're doing because they're going to be doing their GED in Spanish, there's Spanish tests. Just a test where they're at. Because I do this all the time, or not all the time, but I do this because in order for them to take the Spanish GED, it's just you still need like a 9th grade level, 10th grade level. And some of these individuals are coming in with very, you know, in their Spanish speaking countries, they usually just go through 1 through like 6th grade and that's it, you know, a lot of them. So they can't, their English, their Spanish level is not even, reading level is not even at a 9th grade level to start taking GED. So this is why you take a placement test to find out where their English level is at. CASAS has a Spanish version of this, so you can find out where their Spanish is at. So because if they're not reaching a certain level, I wouldn't even get them started on a GED. They kind of need a Spanish ABE type of deal.
but you can't put that Spanish score in MERS as their pre and post test. You're saying that's just to really figure out where they're at for the GED preparation. You'd still have to do the approved CASAS test, which I don't know that the Spanish version is the approved one to put in MERS. I'm not sure because I've never had to work through that, but I believe for CASAS pre and post test, the NRS approves only the English version. So
And
I
if that-
see
You're
the
correct,
importance of
Gabby.
using the Spanish one to prep them to make sure they're ready to actually do the Spanish GED as a separate need, but I don't know that you could put that score in CASAS.
That's what
I mean,
CASAS
in
told
MERS.
me. CASAS told me there's other things to do, but we can't put it
Right.
into MERS.
So
No,
it's-
will
it's a
they
good
allow you?
tool.
Will they allow you to do the? I remember when we first started here. When I first started here doing here, they still had like the CDs and the paper versions. And for those individuals with really low literacy, like no computer skills, there was like a way to be able to test them using just a teacher telling them like the ABCs and being able to pronounce a dog and things like that. And this was below the 27R.
I don't know.
Okay, I would look into that because that'll be another way to give them a score. Like all you need is like a raw score. So and it was like 20 questions you can ask them.
Yeah, I don't know if that's still out there.
I would also, I would touch base with Mariah Schaefer because she's also, I know, done battle with a lot of the CASAS test things and worked with a lot of refugees that have very, very low, like low literacy levels in their native language as well as, basic 0 English. And so she's worked a lot with the CASAS test and that, so she might also, I don't believe she's on this call, but she might have some other insider or tips
I
as
think
well.
Juan should join the ESL committee.
Absolutely.
If I had the time, I totally would, guys. I'm listening in and out, and honestly, I just jumped on because I just heard what you guys were speaking, and I would love to. If I can't make it, I'm gonna try to get my ESL instructor to get on the committee.
Perfect.
Absolutely.
But thanks, guys.
So
Awesome.
the other thing is this student in an ABE class? Because you can't mix the tests, right? You can't use a live work, so the listening and the lower level ESL test, CASA's just, I mean,
Right.
mayors won't take it for an ABE class. They'll
Has to
only
be
let you
goals,
put in
it has to
CASA's
be
goals.
the goals for ABE and yeah.
Yeah. So that, I think that's probably where her problem is that she can't get a low enough level test for
Well, even with
that class
ABE, even with
designation.
ABE goals, you can get a low level score.
Yeah,
That's
and
what
there
they
is,
found.
there is a pretty low level test.
Mhm.
The 903 is pretty basic, but that's still, is there one below the 903?
It sounds like if she does the math one, she'll be,
That's what I think. I think that'd be
Okay.
the easiest.
yeah.
Yeah, and that's what we're gonna do, because she's not a low level person. She's actually
Yeah.
she's ready
If
to do
she's
some
not there to
testing.
learn English, then I would just do the math one, get her and keep her moving.
Yep.
Thanks.
Michael?
Yeah, I guess the question I ask is it really doing them a service to even give the GED test in Spanish? And I've had this conversation often with Latin Americans Unite for Progress here in Holland also, and they've come to that conclusion as well. They were the ones that gave the test, but the problem is when people go out to interviews to get jobs, they don't get hired because they don't speak enough English, to understand much of anything. And we
So
have,
that's a much bigger
I know.
picture
I would
conversation.
just think, I would encourage people, if you don't have an ESL program, start one. It's very easy to do, and teach them English. So it's going to help them along just in general.
But I think for some, it's the expediency of being able to get that GED completion they need with their Spanish and then hoping that they'll work through their English skills, but not waiting to get that GED proficiency that they might need that's holding them back from a job.
Tammy, that exactly, Michael. I'm the one that started the GED in Spanish at Latin Americans United for Progress about 10 years ago.
Yeah.
That is exactly the reason why, Tammy.
Say that again, Juan. That's exactly what?
It was one of the reasons why it was holding, because 10 years ago, individuals were being held back at certain jobs because they didn't have their GED, meaning moving up to leadership positions and things like that.
Yeah.
And they also wanted to be able to apply at certain jobs because a lot of the jobs didn't require English, very low English level as well. What our biggest thing was always, and I still hold it here, is when people say like they need their GED for whatever, is like you cannot expect somebody to learn the language first and then go get their GED in English. It is too much work. It's like you telling you to go learn Spanish and go take a test in Spanish. You know what I mean? It's just,
Right.
it's just
No,
too
I
much of a
agree.
barrier.
Just that a lot of our employers, they want them to speak English somewhat. That's
Yeah,
all
I
I'm
mean,
saying.
they should be
Yeah.
pushing them to be attaining an ESL program inside an ESL program as well. That is the goal.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard because, thinking about taking an exam in a foreign language is, very intimidating, and that can be a big
exactly.
barrier for some.
Yeah. But if their Spanish speaking skill or whatever their native language skills are low as well, you might as well start them in English.
Yeah, it's just they get their GED first, then they learn the English is maybe the route they're taking. But I have to go over to a Section 107 meeting at 10 a.m. And really quick, before I jump up, I just wanted to give a shout out to Jen. She's been here a month now, and the learning curve is crazy. The new initiatives we have that are in the works, and she came in the middle of like 4 different initiatives. So the fact that she is still with us, it's amazing. Thank you for sticking it out, Jen. I know there's so much you're learning so fast. And I just want to thank you for all your efforts and the fact that you're willing to take so much on so quickly. So kudos to you. You're my rose today, Jen.
Oh, thank you, Tammy.
All
I'm
right, I
trying,
gotta
I'm
go.
trying.
Bye,
Tammy, do you know
everybody.
where the link is? Do you, I
he-
don't have the link to
It
our,
was in an email. I'll forward it to you as soon as I get off.
beautiful, thanks.
All right, bye.
Bye.
All right, Kim, you want to stop recording?